Um, I've shamelessly stolen a video that's been released very recently by the Solent LEP around green growth. So I thought I'd start with that if I can, and then I'm going to just talk you through a few slides. So hopefully this will work.
You've got this amazing asset, you've got this livable place, you've got this place to die for in terms of the quality of life.
It is a place where you want to live and work and bring up families.
In the future, why can't our region be a national park region? We can do things that make life greener, healthier and wilder.
How much water do we use? How much power do we use? Can we convert to more sustainable energy sources?
There's a lot of hard work going on at the moment to regenerate this area.
Solent region is the place to be. There will be challenges in the future, but we will be ready with our communities to tackle them.
I feel like in the future things will be better because people are starting to do things about the problem that we have with like climate change and the bad plastic and the environment.
The world's changing so quickly. It's hard to sort of keep up sometimes, but there'll be a lot more sort of new adventures and opportunities open.
So I want you to hold on to that. I want you to hold on to what you saw in that video. If you saw something that inspired you or reminded you of the amazing place that we all live and work in, then just hold on to that as we go through my initial few slides, I think. Right. On UK climate action. So only yesterday, this is why I've said hold on to the inspirational video. Only yesterday, advice to government from the independent assessment from the Climate Change Committee has basically spelled out what we probably already know, but since their last report, which was 5 years ago, we, the UK, are failing to keep up with actions that will help us adapt to climate change, and in fact things have got worse. But a positive, we do have, as the United Kingdom does have the capacity and the resources to respond effectively to these risks, but we have not yet done so. So a lot to do, things are not yet getting better, but it can be done. And I suppose that's the premise upon which we meet today. Now, the thing with that is that often with these big problems, and let's face it, climate change is the biggest. It knocks COVID, well, it makes it look very small. If all of the risks are to be realised, but often you see a scenario with any big complex problem where we go from denial, it's not happening, to, oh my goodness, this is massive, what could I do? So to despair. So we flip from denial to despair. And I think what we want to do today is concentrate on the bit in the middle. So let's just pause. And I don't think anybody here necessarily is, one hopes, in despair. But if you are, then hopefully some conversations today might give you a little bit of a glimmer of hope. But let's stop in the middle and think about all the opportunities, and there are many. And so these sessions today are meant to really unpack and explore the many opportunities that that all of us know exist. And it's not comprehensive. It's not, we're not saying Future South has all the answers or anything else. This is about partnership and working together. but we are saying that we have all the ingredients within this region to not just kind of go with the flow and go with the crowd, but to lead the way and to show Westminster and the world how it's done. And obviously with COP happening in November, that provides a huge impetus, and we know that there's going to be loads of stuff going on in the build up to COP, during COP itself, and post COP. And so there's an opportunity to start to capture with 5 months to go, all of the great stuff that people have planned, want to happen. We can make it go from there. So, win-win. Some of you that know me, I've shown this slide for a long time now. Fortunately, the comment on the left doesn't happen so much anymore, particularly with the change in leadership in the United States. You know, this is win-win. If we get this right, we are looking at a seriously better future. And there are those of us as well that have been working within the region. And of course, there's people working nationally and globally on this, but recognizing that, you know, COVID has been a terrible, terrible thing. But potentially, let's make what we can out of this dreadful situation. And there is an opportunity, to use government speak, to build back better, but build back greener. And actually, there's an opportunity not to just press the reset button and do everything we can to get back to business as usual, but actually to think about a kind of post-COVID green recovery. And there's a groundswell and a commitment to that within the region, certainly. And if not now, then when? Because we've got COP coming up. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's happening at the central level at Westminster that is driving and coming together to create that perfect storm for action and to facilitate action in a way that I think we've never experienced before. And funding, of course, will follow that. And perhaps, you know, I've added there, you know, a lot of that is affecting everybody in the same way, but the Freeport agenda is an interesting one. And obviously Portsmouth and Southampton and the Solent region have been granted a Freeport, and there's work going on to flesh out exactly what that will look like. But there was a strong commitment within the Solent bid to green growth, and that was recognised by central government. And I think that provides an extra impetus for us that's come along recently to get things done within this context. So we have COP26 coming. It's in November. It's been delayed a year, and quite frankly, that was probably a good thing, because I'm not sure anybody was ready for it. One hopes that they're getting ready for it now. There's certainly more stuff going on. It seems a little bit more coherent. I think it will be exciting. How much happens outside of Glasgow, I think, is probably up to people like us. And I know that there's lots of plans, and we'd like to capture some of that. Provide an opportunity in the build-up and during and after to really shine a light on you know, the commitments that are being made at the country level and the governance level through this conference of parties, and you know, it will be all over the news. And we of course hope that, you know, we will see a real step change in commitment that moves us forward to the agreements made in Paris in a way that we haven't managed before. Of course, we hope for that, but irrespective of that, I think we can use this as leverage to really increase momentum within our region. Unfortunately, I don't need to focus on this too much because Ben kindly introduced it all. But so, you know, we at Future South, and I'll say a bit about who we are, but you know, we're just a bunch of people from different organizations who came together, well, next year it'll be 10 years ago, and then it was about creating a low carbon economy. About 18 months we kind of refreshed with everything that's been going on to commit, as everybody else is wanting to do, to at least a zero carbon economy, if not becoming climate positive. And you know, we refreshed the commitments and the vision that we had back then, and many of you have been on that journey with us, but it's certainly, you know, I think changing now in terms of the opportunities to actually deliver a zero carbon future, or whatever you want to call it, green growth, clean growth. That's one of the things, I guess, is to get the language commensurate, so the general public know what on earth we're talking about. But anyway, and just dwell on that very briefly. You know, so there's a heritage there, and you know, we're not the only show in town. We don't claim to be. It's all about partnership. But you know, we have been working at this for a while now, and you know, we've seen appetite certainly in government wax and wane, but I think it's on a high at the moment. One hope. But you know, we go right back to 2012 when Future South was formed, Future Solent then, and published our first strategy, got some money in. We CCORM funded the Hampshire Community Bank. That's 7 years ago. You'll hear about that story and that journey. And if you've not heard about the Hampshire Community Bank, then that's a really exciting development that is very close to launch now. And Andreas will take us through that in the final session, which is fantastic. But then also, you know, Future South showed leadership and created Greentech South, of which I'm a director, and that's working to help SMEs in the region. And through that, you know, we've secured over £15 million for the transition to a zero carbon economy. We've secured over £55 million of inward investment to the region, safeguarded or created over 300 jobs, and helped over 400 businesses. So, you know, we've done a lot already, but there's loads more to do. And the important thing is that we do that through partnership. And you know, these are the faces of the board, and many of them are here with us today, which is fantastic. And just quickly, I took all the biogs and stuck them through a word cloud, and so that turns out what comes out, just to give you a flavour. But the most important message is that always we've been triple helix. So we've been business led, but we bring together leaders from universities and academia, from business, and from local government. And it's that triple helix approach that stands us in such good stead. And Ben talked about you know, what our priorities are now, but in essence, you know, it is no coincidence that they also match with the COP priorities, because yeah, they are so important. And so those 4 goals of COP26 to secure global net zero by the middle of the century and keep 1.5 degrees within reach, for adaptation and natural capital, to mobilise finance. That's a really big, important issue, the green finance issue, and there's a lot of work going on now around that. And we're really pleased to have Andreas with us later on to talk about a Hampshire community bank that can help with that. And then the other one is working together. And I guess that's why we're here. And following that, and following our vision and our goals, an opportunity came up about 12 months ago to work in partnership with other organisations, and that's very, very quickly grown, and others have joined us. But what that's about is taking a lot of these important issues and working out what our priorities are as a region to commit to a green print, to a post-COVID green recovery, and to do that in such a way that it's clear that it's about our region, and it's not something that could be applied in Manchester or Newcastle or wherever. And within that, we've, you know, in consultation, and we've worked with Partnership South Hampshire and all the local authorities, and this has really gained momentum now, and the chief executives and the members of the councils are signed up to this and have financially supported it. But we've developed 5 areas of priority, and they too link with the COP priorities, but they are about the best thing for our region. And there's an opportunity later to talk about those a bit more, and to demonstrate and to provide information as to how you yourselves might be working in areas that could contribute to this overarching green print. And we're working on a kind of a balanced scorecard now, to work out how you might measure success in these areas. But the important thing is that those areas combine along with the distinctive characteristics of our region. And, well, not any region, but many regions could offer one or two of these, but not all five in the way that we can. And that combined with those 5 priorities, I think, is what gives us our distinctiveness. And that's really important that we pursue that, so that we don't look the same, and it's clear that we stand out. And there's some fantastic speakers, and I'm very pleased and grateful to them for joining us today, who will share their perspective on different elements of this, and it should become clear. All of the speakers, with a couple of exceptions, have come from the region. So this is, we haven't wheeled in a load of professionals from London or international experts. They are absolutely all from here, and it just hopefully will show you and it's not everything, of course. It's just the tip of the iceberg, but hopefully it will give you a window into the level of expertise and enthusiasm that we have in the region to move things forward. I need to wind up, I'm aware of that. So, there you go, there's my alarm. So that's what's brought us here today. All of that kind of background, some of that context. And so we've got these areas that we're going to explore. The first one about seizing business opportunities of climate change of COP26. There's a session around clean energy and transport, which is another priority of COP. There's another one around nature-based solutions and climate resilience after lunch. And then, as I've mentioned, something around the Hampshire Community Bank and climate finance. And that element of working together, interspersed with all of that, is the opportunity to network around tables, to contribute. There'll be some interactive elements that you can choose to, like the chat function, like the Q&A, but also back round at the tables. You can actually talk to people face to face, but also there's some other digital platforms that we will give you an option. It's optional, certainly, to engage with, to provide more input, so we can kind of, I suppose, crowdsource exactly where we are and how we can move forward. This is about partnership. It's not about one organisation telling others what to do, that's for sure. And even then, we've got a hell of a challenge